Welcome to the version 2.6 patch walkthrough for Judgement Eternal Champions. I'm Andrew Guns Galea, the creator of the game, and as usual, I'm going to go through the patch in detail today. This is a pretty big patch. It's sizable. It's the end of the year. We like the end of the year one to be quite impactful. We've definitely got a lot of things to go through today, so strap yourself in. We've got some core changes to the rules. We've also got some lots of heroes changing, a whole bunch of stuff going on. So pretty exciting. Also, the 3 heroes that are currently in the test realm, which is Gonsoku, Lyra and Zendala, are all official as of this patch. They've got 2.6 versions of their cards are being released. There's a couple of tweaks that are coming late for them that we're going to be announcing today as well. Straight after this video is published, we're going to actually push everything out onto Hoek, so hallofeternalchampions.com is where you'll see all the latest cards, rules and updates. The Vassal module's been updated. TTS module's been updated as well as Sunny's drive cards. Sunny's cards that you can print if you want to do physical cards. So immediately available on Hall of Eternal Champions. You can start playing the game using the in-game functionality of that with all these new rules. I'm going to go through it as I do normally, go through some of the core changes and then go through a whole bunch of heroes. No monsters are tweaked really, well, a few tweaks, nothing major there. But a few got changes for the tribes, a couple of the tribes, which is pretty cool. So we'll go through those today as well. All right, let's kick it off. First thing I want to do is we've got an announcement. If you at hallofeternalchampions.com is the official rules of the game. So if you're at a tournament or anywhere and you look at Hall of Eternal Champions, whatever's on there on the text, not the cards, whatever's on there on the text is the rule. So even if we get it wrong or there's a mistake, you just, if you want to know how to play, just follow the rule, whatever the text says, for any of the heroes and gods or any of those things on Hall of Eternal Champions, if there's any dispute. So any cards, physical, printed cards, vassal cards, whatever they are, they're overridden by whatever's on Hall of Eternal Champions, and we'll live and die by that. And then if we make a mistake on Hall, we'll get it updated. We've got the opportunity to update that instantaneously if we find something that's really bad. But regardless of what it is, if there's a dispute in a game about a rule, the text on Hall of Eternal Champions is the rule. Okay, cool. That's the first thing. Excellent. Okay, so a couple of things with the core rulebook. This is a 2.6 rulebook's coming in like all the time. We do a patch. For those who don't know, we do patch the game every 6 months. So the next one will be in the middle of next year. This one will cover the Grand Tournament in Adepticon, obviously, because that falls in March next year. So whatever this patch is will go all the way through to June in the middle of 2026. Right, we've added a bunch of things. We used to call these common innate abilities. We're just calling them common abilities now because they're not always innate abilities. We've got some combat maneuvers like Mortal Wounds has been added into the rulebook, and so is Duplicate Self, and that can be also triggered by a combat maneuver from Piper. So we've added Duplicate Self to the rulebook. We've added Honor. We've added Mortal Wounds. Shadow Mist has been clarified. So let's go through. So the other Duplicate Self, Honor, and Mortal Wounds has not changed. Shadow Mist has changed. It is now, if you've got 2 models with Shadow Mist and they're triggered by an enemy model within 2 of both of them getting hit, the active player has to choose which one gets the Shadow Mist. So Zendala and Cradle can't both generate Shadow Mist off the one hit. You have to choose, if you have both in your warband, which one gets it. But that's also in the rulebook. We've got a new ability added to the rulebook called Eldritch Intellect. Essentially, this model gains +2 Soul Harvest when resolving a basic attack against it from a model with Psionic. This gives us the ability to keep low Soul Harvest models in the game and also give them some protection against Psionics. There's only 2 heroes that are getting this. This is actually, as the name suggests, Eldritch Intellect. It's a Warlock thing. With Warlocks, they have they're just not very in tune with soul harvesting. We did that right back when we did Victor 5 years ago. He was always soul harvest 1 because we didn't want to have Warlocks be able to soul harvest. We've now got 2 Warlocks in the game with Lyra joining. So she's come in at soul harvest 1 as well. So to help both, it's a bit of a buff for Victor. Eldritch Intellect has been added to the rulebook as a new rule, and anyone with Eldritch Intellect innate ability gets +2 SH versus psionic attacks. Basically means Lyra and Victor are effectively SH3 when getting attacked by a Maltique or a Vexus. Okay, that's that one. Steadfast has been clarified that combat maneuvers from enemy models that try to push this model require an additional S. It was unclear whether the model themselves needed an S to push themselves. It's not the intent. We've clarified it now. So only when an enemy tries to push a Steadfast model do they need additional S. The model with Steadfast doesn't need any additional S to move themselves. Perfect. Stealth has been rewritten to make it clear. This model cannot be targeted by enemy models more than 2 X's away other than when being charged. This is a catch-all because we've had it, if you're shooting them with RNG or Mage, it's 2 away. What if I'm using an active ability on them? What if I'm targeting them for any other reason? From now on, if they're stealthed, they can't be targeted by enemy models more than 2 X's away, except when that enemy model is charging them. So it's actually a little bit of a buff for stealth and just future-proofs us completely. Sunder Armor has been added to the rulebook, no change to it. So Try Again has been clarified. We've added summons to it. Monsters could never use it, but now your summons can't use Try Again. So any dice roll in the game, except for monster and summons attacks, can be re-rolled using this action. You may only re-roll once. You must re-roll the entire pool of dice. Let's try again. Short legs has been added to the rulebook. Short legs is what Thrommel's got when he can't benefit from dash for the first round of the game because he's got natural sprinter. So that's been added to the rulebook as well. Center shrines have been tweaked. This is always our intent. So one hero can buy, swap, sell artifacts only, regardless of how many heroes claim it. So if you manage to claim a center shrine on a map and you've got 2 heroes that are on there, only one of them, you choose which one can buy, swap, or sell artifacts. Communion phase, this is a bit of future proofing. This came up with Asbran when he was increasing the agi through bestow of the effigy, and we got this, we had to patch Asbran to say it can't be used on effigies, but essentially what we said now is when an effigy regenerate their health at the start of the communion phase, this counts as the effigy activating. As a result, tokens that expire at the start of a model's activation are removed. So in the future, we can now have these abilities. You can put them on there and it actually activates. It counts as activating when it regens. It's just a bit of a cleaning up, which is really good. We have clarified in the rulebook how to do monster spawn randomization, and Gamerdad Joe has created an awesome card that has all the current monsters in their tiers. The way it works, you pull all the monsters from whatever the random spawn is. If it says spawn T1 to 2, you get all the T1s, all the T2s, put them in one pool and randomize equally across all those monsters. If you don't randomize the tiers first, you put them all in together and randomize them. So it's just clarified now, it's in the rulebook. It's always the way that we've intended to do it. It's always the way that I've done it. It's the way Vassal's always done it. Now it's in the rulebook. There's no conjecture. You just get all the monsters from all the tiers of that random spot, put them in a pool, randomize equally. Awesome. Okay, so that's there's one more big core rule change that I will go through now. We're introducing a concept of effigy decay and the game ending after 6 turns. So I just want to clarify how this works. So at the start of round 5 of any game, each player's effigy their base health is reduced in step 1 at the start of the communion phase after effigy regeneration. So in a 3 versus 3 game, start of round 5, effigies lose 3 health from their base health. So their base health of the effigies is 13. Obviously that can't end the game. If you've 1 soul away, you can take it on 1 health, but it's what we've done. The end of round 5 of the game, it hasn't ended. Tiebreakers come into play. The game ends. For 5 versus 5, it's the start of round 6. So the 6th round of the game, effigies lose a 3 health from their base health. So their base health of their effigies is 17. At the end of round 6, the game hasn't ended. Tie breaks come into play. We have toyed with this for a while. Judgement is one of the games that doesn't have a natural end. The game theoretically could go on forever. In tournament situations, you have chess clocks. You can go back for almost 10 years of the game's existence. Chess clocks are a way to make sure tournament rounds finish on time. We never intended for chess clocks to be a win condition or a way for games to end. So the vast majority of games do end within the chess clock time. The vast majority of games do end within 6 turns. The ones that don't, we want them to end. We feel it's not a good game experience for anyone. Games that go that long are generally not fun, and we want to just improve the play experience for players, knowing there is an end to the game after 6 turns in 5v5 and 5 turns in 3 versus 3. Now, we've been testing this for a long time. We've tried a few different ways. This is well over the last 18 months. In the last, this patch cycle, we've done a ton of testing on this. It's a very, very high percentage of games ends on turn 5 without any decay in 5v5, and an extremely high percentage of games end in turn 6. The 3 decay just gets those games over the line. If after 6 rounds of the game, and even with 3 decay effigy, and you still can't end the game's going to end on tiebreakers. We are going to implement this at Adepticon GT. So the Adepticon GT will be using the effigy decay rule and have a turn limit ending to the games. It's going to be in the rulebook as an option, the same way we have pick and ban as an option, or you can go just blind pick, or you can do draft. This is another thing you can do to say, well, I want to play unlimited turns. I want to play 6 turns or 5 turns, depending on the size of the game. But if it's in the rulebook as an option, all the official events that we'll be running, including our GTs, are going to use effigy decay. Now, we're expecting a reaction from this. It is a big change to the game. We're expecting a reaction from people who don't understand how many, or don't really know how many of their games end in 6 turns. I can assure you it's a vast high percentage of games that do. And if they don't, we believe the game gets to a state where it's actually not enjoyable, and we don't want the game to go that long. So that's effigy decay. It's in the rule book. Just clarifying, 3 versus 3. At the end of start of round 5, 3 health decay on the effigy. End of round 5, game ends. In a 5v5 game, start of round 6, 3 health decay on your effigy, ends game 6. Now, the tiebreakers are pretty what you'd expect. First tiebreaker is number of souls current players have. The one with the most souls wins the game. If the souls are the same, it's the current damage inflicted to effigies. So if you've got close to killing the effigy, you haven't quite killed it, that's the winner. If both effigies are now on the same health, it's the most levels gained by your heroes. Fourth tiebreaker, if you're still there, still a draw. The warband currently suffering the least amount of damage missing from the hero's maximum health on the table right now, is the winner. The fifth tiebreaker, if that's equal, is the player who captured the first soul of the game. So we've pretty much never got past the first 2 tiebreakers, or maybe not past the third tiebreaker. But that's it. So prepare yourself for Adepticon. If you go to Adepticon, the GT, it's going to be that. All right, awesome. That's the core rule changes to the game. I'm now going to go through a whole bunch of hero changes. Hope you're enjoying it. Still there. I'm assuming everyone's going crazy right now about the what I've announced, but we'll see how we go. All right, hero cards. Just in alphabetical order. No other order besides that. Abathurst, the first one off the rank. It's very simple. We've changed Consume Spirit to add this activation at the end of the first sentence in Abathurst Consume Spirit. So basically reads, target a coalesce icon within 2 hexes that was not placed by Abathurst using Abyssal Split or Abyssal Portal, this activation. So with Abathurst and the Demon, this is for Abathurst in the Demon tribe. Previously, you had to track his coalesce tokens separate to others. It was quite onerous. This simplifies it. It's only the ones he's put down this turn that you can't use. All the other coalesce tokens are pretty much eligible. So that's just it's just a quality of life for Abathurst within the Demon tribe. That's all that one is. Asbrand, homebound range reduced from 2 hexes to adjacent. Slight nerf to his homebound. Pretty happy where Asbrand is at the moment. He's filling the role we want him to fill. He's quite good. He's getting good play. Appearing in a few warbands. Has inherent weaknesses and some good strengths. So this one just means it's a little bit. There'll be a lot more instances where he cannot get to the hero he needs to with one move to move them. So it's going to be adjacent to homebound them. Quite a good change for Asbrand. It's on his second card. There it is there, homebound. So adjacent. And obviously still can't do himself. Right, Bastion. All right, Bastion is a good one. He is very strong and Tauren. We feel Bastion's probably, if we design him today, we probably would do what we're doing now. Essentially, he's getting a buff. So his sword and magic blast attack damage grid go from 124 to 234. So just bring him in line with vast number of other heroes. And his magic blast reach increases to 4. Which is another cool, basically like the Saiyan treatment. So we're happy with Bastion's kit. He's seeing reasonable play, probably like to see him a little bit more. This should help. He's now really robust, can do decent damage, particularly with heroism as well. So that's quite good. So that's Bastion. Good man. All right. Carver. Carver's getting a bit of love. Carver came in. He was interesting when we first released him. He was in playtest. He went through a very strong phase, and then once a hero lands really strong, it's always difficult to get that balance right. And so we pegged him back, and then it ended up making his kit a little bit awkward because some of the stuff that he relied on to make his kit make sense, we'd actually taken those abilities away. So we've had a good time now to he's been in play for several months, I think only 6 months. We've had a good chance to see him get played, and we believe we've nailed the problems to help improve Carver. So essentially what it is the following. His avatar bonus gets updated. If Carver is the avatar, while friendly non-defender hero models are within 2 hexes of Carver, they gain Chameleon. But Carver's blink combat maneuver cost is permanently changed to 2S or 1J. So the blink thing is the thing that we've added. Carver gains point blank, which is a huge boost to him. A hero that can do, magic and equally with his melee. It's good to have point blank. And we also added honor to his card, which was just missing. So we believe these 2 changes are quite good for Carver. It makes his avatar more appealing. And the fact he's got point blank cleans up a lot of the messiness around pulling someone in and then you can't shoot them, or you've charged, or you've got all this, or you've aimed, so then you can't hit them once you've pulled them in with his acid spit attack. So now he can actually do all that because he's got point blank. We think that's a good change for Carver. Really happy to see him get more play and what people think. All right. Next one is our favourite little it's Gonsoku. Right, so Gonsoku is live. Thank you. I just want to make one comment around the people who provided feedback on the feedback form on Hall of Eternal Champions in the test realm section. Amazing. We got a lot of feedback, most of it really sensible, which was great. I've had some interaction with some of the people who provided feedback, so I really appreciate it. We did listen. We've actually made a few changes based on the feedback, so we're really happy with that. Gonsoku is one of them. So enhanced Halo can no longer affect friendly defender models. I was personally really keen to have Gonsoku affect defenders. It was good to have him as a bit of a unique spin on what he does. But through a bit of play test and some solid feedback, we realised we did a lot of effort to break up the whole meat grinding, club together, tank can't bust, tank warband style. And Gonsoku had the potential to bring a lot of that back, being able to make Ravenos Res 2, Skull Res 2, Sky Res 1, make them all +1 agi, duplicate self on them. We just felt it's a step too far. So we've just done that on Enhanced Halo, which is his level 2. So if I go to the next card, you'll see, his Enhanced Halo now says non-defender. That's Gonsoku. All right, let's go to the next hero. And now we'll get to our favourite guy, Grail. Grail's getting a slight nerf. His knife damage is going from 123 to 124. Very happy with the rest of Grail's kit. He's dynamic, can be fragile if he's not used well, has a high ceiling, a high floor. Really happy with him, but just felt the odd occasion where he was doing 5 damage on a crit when he was backstabbing someone. Wasn't quite what we intended, so we've just pinned his knife attack from 124 to 123. I don't think it'll affect his take rate at all, which we're happy with. We just don't want him to be quite as spiky and oppressive in those instances where you're level 3 with Frenzy, Soul Frenzy, and you're doing 15 damage with his knife, which is a bit insane. So now it's a bit less damage. So that's Grail. Right, our other Goblin, Jaeger. He's getting a boost. Jaeger's been a very popular hero for a very long time, all through V1. He didn't land quite as well in V2. He was very strong in V1, and I think when we converted him across, we erred on the side of caution a bit too much. So we've given him a bit of a 2 boost. Ready RS is cost reduced from 1 AP plus 1F to 1 AP or 1F. It was way overcosted, in my opinion, for what it did. It was rare that you'd want to spend it. You just didn't get the value out of it. So now it's very flexible. It's 1 AP or 1F. We're expecting to see it a lot more. It's very situational, but it could be good in certain situations. It's good quality of life. He also gains an ability called Bounty Hunter. This is another new innate ability. Bounty Hunter. When Jaeger deals a killing blow on a monster or summons, he can collect the bounty even if he is not adjacent to them. This is huge. It's super fun to play. It's exciting. Makes Jaeger so dangerous. He's the ultimate monster hunter now because he can steal monsters and also get their bounty. Now, mind you, he could do this previously. Lots of heroes can steal monsters from your opponent, which is a good play. He gets the boost of being able to actually collect the bounty, which means he can buy, swap, and sell. We're expecting this to be pretty impactful. We want it to be. We love Jaeger. We want to see him more in the game. We feel he's fallen off a cliff a little bit, and we're excited about him being back. So, haven't improved his survivability or his shooting or anything like that, but Bounty Hunter's huge, and can't wait to see that hit the scene. So that's Jaeger. All right. Moving on. Kane. Now, we've looked at Kane a lot. Kane's a funny one. Can be super strong in certain situations. Is very good in Thomas. Is very good with a Bloodsucker. We considered things like, regen or giving him inherent leech, but the Bloodsucker item is there. We don't want heroes. If he's good with a Bloodsucker, buy him a Bloodsucker. It adds a bit of contention with other heroes. So that option's always there for him. But we've given him a small boost of Soul Harvest 5. We find the Soul Harvest 5 heroes just get elevated into that kind of slot where if you're not taking Soul Harvest gazers or you don't take a second Soul Gazer, and they can do that, it makes it a lot easier to pick up a soul. They can operate a bit more independently. It's also very good now. We've got 2 psionic characters in the game. He's obviously all of a sudden quite strong into Avexis or Maltique. So yeah, it's a slight change for Kane. We don't want to give him too many buffs. I know his take rate's not high, but sometimes it's just themes and trends in what still is a relatively small meta. We don't think he's underpowered. He's a hero that can easily get above the curve with too much. So we've just given him a bit of a tweak, keep him on the watch list. But I think this is good for Kane. All right. Also good for demons. Just quietly. Lyra. All right, so Lyra is also live. A lot of commentary on Lyra, with a lot of people. Well, I've already mentioned she gains Eldritch Intellect, which makes her not so rough playing into psionic characters, which is really good. We still don't want Lyra to be able to pick up souls, but we're happy for her to be a bit more resilient when it comes to fighting against psionics. No other changes to Lyra. We've done a bunch of changes. She's got Monster Slayer now, which we gave to her in the last small update. I think she's a sleeper. There's still commentary that people think. We've got a lot of feedback about Lyra. We think, there's been people saying that it's more expensive to get a demon out with Lyra than Victor because she needs to spend 3 AP to kill a monster. They're totally disregarding the fact she gets a level and a fate and she can buy stuff when she kills the monster. And whenever a hero does that, she gets a free demon. It is free in that sense. The leech at level 3. The thing about Lyra is that at level 3, she can be super super strong. We're watching her because she can dominate when in the right situation. So she's one of those heroes, you want to invest in her. She's going to be quite strong. Another thing about level 3, we did clarify on her card. She can use it to create a demon on the turn. She gains level 3 from the same kill. So when she goes in and kills a hero or a T3 monster at level 3, she can bring in a dog instantaneously for free. So it lets her have an Algrath and dog, and anytime she's got 2 of them in play, it is scary. So yeah, I think the community at the moment is sleeping on her. I think she's going to come into her own. So we're watching her, but she's great. We're very happy where she is now. So Lyra. All right, nice. Now this is an interesting one. This is one's going to cause a little bit of discussion for sure. Nice has always been a weird one. Like, she can be quite good. There's some games where you feel like, whoa, she does a lot. She's one of the few soul gazers that doesn't have a ranged option. She doesn't have anything really special about her that, like Svetlana can summon things. Svetlana's got the monster stuff going on. Krul's got heaps of stuff. Grail goes nuts. Zaren's got skeletons. I'm just rattling them off, right? There's so many soul gazers that bring a lot to the table of utility. Almost all of them have some sort of shooting ranged option. If they don't, then they're very good at other things like Grail. So we have gone... we've basically made all her abilities on her entire card 1 AP or 1F. So she had some that were 1 AP, some that were 1F. It was always a bit awkward when you did that because you're thinking, I need F for that one, Fate for that one, I need an action point for that one. Every ability now. This is Shadow Meld, Seduce, Restore, Rejuvenate, Hypnotize are all 1 AP or 1F. It elevates her for sure. She's going to see some play for sure. Another good buff for you demon players out there. But yeah, we think it's great. We're super excited about her. Her damage output hasn't changed. Her defense hasn't changed. She's just a super flexible hero now that we're pumped about. So let's go nuts with Nias. Let us know what you think. Yeah, she's super fun now, that's for sure. And she'll definitely start competing with some of the other soul gazers in the game that have been overshadowing her a bit. For those out there who think Nias is strong today, it's your lucky day. She's got a big boost. Go nuts. Go Nias. Okay. So as you can see, everything's 1 AP or 1F. All right. We've got Ramona. This is not really a buff. Basically, quality of life, negative. She can't do parting blows in gaseous form now, which I think most people thought should have happened anyway. We just made it official on her card. So if you do go to gaseous form, I think you'll see she can't do parting blows. Yeah, there you go. It's in there. Great. All right, that's Ramona. Let's go to the other hero, Shan. Right, going through a couple of quick changes here. Get Behind Me can no longer be used on defender models. It's just non-defender only. Yeah, it's one of the few times a defender could help a defender. We thought we'd like to probably just pull her back a peg and try to reduce the amount of defender and defender interactions. We're seeing a lot of multi-defender warbands, which is fine, but we want to make sure it doesn't become too fine, too prevalent, and too overbearing in the meta. So we've just nipped her back a little bit. Similarly, we've done the same thing with, with Sky. Dimension Warp can no longer target defender models, so that's his level 2. So essentially, when he goes back to the effigy, he can't take a defender with him. So that Sky and Shan have taken slight hits on the interaction with each other and other defenders. All right, Styx. Styx is another one, much maligned. I think the community sleeps on him. He's super powerful. We have given him a little bit of a boost though. We're super careful with Styx. There was an era of the game where Styx was, he was just the man. Yep, he was all over the place and super strong. We don't believe he's weak. We just feel he's just not getting enough play, I think. And so he used to have +1 res. We took it away. We're not putting it back. But when he holds a soul now, at level 2, he gets +1 res as well. So remember with his level 2, he gets +1 mel and +1 RNG per soul he's carrying. Mind you, if he's carrying 2 and you're not banking, you're a lunatic. But now he gets the extra damage with a J on his attacks, and now he gets +1 res. So getting sticks and early soul now is pretty decent. He's going to be mel 8, RNG 8, have an extra J damage on his attacks, and his res 1. We feel this is pretty good. So Sticks is the kind of guy, if you're not going to get him a soul, he's not going to be, he'll be a lot more squishy, not as effective. Get him a soul, he's pretty good. So it's worth trying to get him a soul. Don't forget as well, right? So Undead with Sticks, there's a good synergy there, right? So, any Undead that gets a soul can pass it on to Sticks. He's got a bound soul. Oh, but basically he has to be level 2 still. That's the only thing, but it's still good. So yes. So try it out. So I think very happy with Sticks. Hopefully get him to see a bit more play. I'm taking him in the next league, so that's good. So look forward to that. All right, Svetlana. This is interesting. So with our mark, it wasn't always clear whether you could gain stealth while you were marked. We've clarified it so you cannot. It actually makes Svetlana a very good counter for Zendala, right? Because while Zendala's our mark, she can't shake that our mark. Cradle can get rid of it and things like that. But she can't shake it, and while she's got it, she can't get stealth. It's a huge... Svetlana's a serious counter for Zendala, which we're very happy with. It's good to have those anti-synergies in place. And, Zendala's going to see a lot of play for sure. So this might bring Svetlana up a little bit in people's eyes, and it's also a nice little boost for dwarves, which is great. All right, that's Svetlana. Vexus, we've just done a little change here, so it's clear her bite is a basic attack, reach 1 mel weapon, with damage grid 1, 2, 3, and it deals 2 damage. So we've just clarified it. It is a basic attack. It doesn't matter in the game. We are going to get better at making sure we get these things right when they land. But this is not really a nerf or a buff. It's probably just a quality of life, just so we clean her up. So that's Vexus. Very happy where she is at the moment, actually. She's great now. She's perfect where we want her to be. Victor gains Eldritch Intellect. So he gets +2 Soul Harvest versus attacks from Psionic characters. We've clarified his level 2 Demon Link, so he has to be able to do it through his own demons. There are some purposeful synergies between Lyra and Victor. If you've never played with or against both of them in the same warband, it is pretty epic. It's pretty awesome. I know Creaturecaster Peter's been doing this. It's been unreal to see. So a lot of Lyra stuff does happen with Victor's demons, but we didn't want Victor to be shooting through Lyra's demons, so we just clarified that one. Not a huge one, but yep. Zyvera, Unholy Harvest damage is now rounded up instead of rounded down. So that's the only change. We're happy with it. I know there's been a lot of commentary about this ability. We feel it's fine. We feel that this is Zyvera's shtick, and we don't take it away from her because she'll drop off a cliff, and she's not really that high at the moment anyway, so we're very happy with her. But this is just making that damage a little bit more when she's doing Unholy Harvest. All right. Yorgorth. A lot of people saw this coming. Critical Strike no longer used to target effigies. Never should have been allowed. It is... I don't know, not to say the word, but it's overpowered, right, in the current game, especially with someone with so much mobility. So basically, if you do crit strike, it doesn't work against effigies. So that's just a nerf for Yorgorth. And back to the buff phase for Zaffin and dwarfs. His crit's gone back to 6 on his giant crossbow. We feel we double nerfed Zaffin a while ago, might have been 2 patches ago. We overdid it. We think he's better with 6. It's awesome. It's 2 extra potential damage in total. So it's not a huge difference, but it's good. I think he's very happy with Zaffin. Want to see him get more play. He's an awesome model. Good for dwarfs as well. Speaking of dwarfs, we'll get there soon. If you're watching and you're a dwarf fan, we'll get there. All right, so that's the end of the... Oh, wait a second. No, there's not. There's one more. There is Zendala, I think. Yes, right. Zendala, her final form. We've got a lot of feedback around her. So we've done a couple of changes. We have removed Soul Harvest from the takedown options. When she gets takedown, she can no longer do +1 Soul Harvest. This was a lot of feedback we got from the feedback form, so thank you for that. It's one we considered and we agree. So she's stuck on Soul Harvest 3, can't go to 4 with takedown. She gains a new ability called Shadow Heal. It's very minor. She can destroy a target adjacent Shadow Orb and heal her Gloom 3 health. Couple of things for this. We wanted her to have a bit more interaction with Shadow Orbs. We didn't want to give her what your Goth's got, where you can damage someone. But the fact that she can remove a Shadow Orb is quite cool. Any hero can obviously do an enemy one, but she gets a bit of a bonus if her Gloom's injured. It's 0 AP to do it, so she can... it's 1 AP, sorry. It's 1 AP to do it. We don't expect it to be there a lot, but it's a bit of a clutch. You know, if you're Krognar and you've got 3 Shadow Orbs out, you want to get rid of one, she can do it. Sometimes you might want to heal a Hound, so that's fine. Now, we've also reworded Predator. She cannot do it and target the model that she's previously engaged with, right? So previously, before, she could be engaged with a model, activate stealth, and Predator that model. Can't do that anymore. She has to Predator a different model to the model that she's currently engaged with. So that's Zendala in her fine form. Super happy with her. She's awesome hero. Her damage is not as high as some. Her consistency is probably where she's good. She's super high. Getting Glooms out. With the Shadow, there's another thing that's changing, by the way, in the rulebook, which I forgot to mention, that I'll mention now, is that summoned models cannot generate Shadow Mist. Forgot to mention this. So summoned models, the Gloom, cannot generate Shadow Mist. So just to make sure you know. So this is actually quite a big, hefty nerf to Zendala, because what she previously would do was she'd fight someone, get some Shadow Mist, bring a Shadow Hound in. The Shadow Hound would hit twice, give her back 2 Shadow Mist, then she could put on Stealth. And so now she can't do that anymore. So summon models no longer generate Shadow Mist. I think I forgot to say that in the core rules, in the Shadow Mist rules. Yeah. Anyway, it's there somewhere. So yes. Yes, so basically Shadow Mist, what it says, each time an enemy model within 2 hexes of this model takes 1 or more damage from a friendly hero model's basic attacks. So Shadow Mist is only generated from friendly hero models' basic attacks. So there you go. So that's a big actual nerf to Zendala. We've tested it for a while. She feels spot on now. Very happy with her. Zendala's done. Right. I am going to go to... I hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it as usual. I'm going to go to monsters. There's just one. This is the Gloom, Summon Gloom. So... essentially, right, yes. So we've already announced earlier the Mel was going to be 7. So the Mel of the Gloom is now 7. Now what we've also done is reduce the health to 7. Now we did this with Algarath a while ago, the summoned Algarath. The reason being is because if a normal hero, non-melee aggressor with a crit of 4, a 2-3-4 box, which is our most common damage grid, if they charge into a Gloom and crit it, they need a crit on their last AP to kill it. And it's heartbreaking and very hard to do. So normally it means we basically want, if you're going to invest a whole hero's activation in killing an enemy summoned Gloom, we want to make it, that should happen more often than not, right? And so with a crit and then a solid, very good chance of doing it. And then you'll get the bounty of the summon model. So it's gone basically 7 and Mel 7 as well. Everything else remains the same. Right, we're going to get, 2 other monster ones. With Terra, we've updated to say immune to all conditions, not immune all, because it became a little bit of a topic. Does that mean stuff outside of conditions? It only meant to be conditions. So Terra's immune to all conditions. And Terra's Steadfast has got the same clarification where Terra doesn't mean anything for this model, but you basically need an extra S to push Terra enemy attacks. Vajasha's Glyph of Harvesting is now a counter, so you can have more than one on you. There's been a talk around, can you have more than one? It doesn't look like you can. When it's a counter, you can have as many as you can collect. So go nuts with Glyph of Harvesting of Vajasha. Right, on to the gods. Right, now demons. Couple of things. We've got a few big changes here. I'll go through Abyssal Split. The cost of Abyssal Split has been increased from 1S to 2S or 1J. So it used to be 1S to drop a Coalesce token, right? Now you need 2S or a J. It's a little bit more difficult to do. We think it's close. We didn't want to go all the way to 2S, but we feel that's about right. And the testing indicates it is. Amulet of Belial. Damage component doesn't work on 0 AP attacks anymore. It's only a nerf to Drogoth, but we think it's one that's worth doing. We feel demons are... I'll get to the last bit. We've changed effigy power as well. Demons are good. They've got huge potential, very high ceiling, very high floor. They've got a high ceiling to play against as well. We just felt the Amulet of Belial was just an automatic choice on Drogoth, and we looked at different things that we could do, and we decided to take that off. Essentially, it's 3 less damage to him if he's got a perfect storm. Actually, what I'm talking about, yeah, it's 3 less damage because his offhand attacks no longer add damage. So it's just bringing that damage down a little bit. It's not a huge amount, but when you're charging into someone, it's normally 2 damage less because it's your charge attack offhand and then your second attack offhand. So that's it there. Now with the EP, we really like the EP. We thought it was well balanced. It was fine. It was just a nightmare to track on the table. And it took too long to go through all the demon cards, pick the ability you want that you don't have today, mark it somehow on the table. It was a bit of a nightmare. We simplified it. I actually think this might be a touch stronger, but we'll see. Evolve. So basically, depending on the demon subtype, they get an ability increase. So Ruin gets +1 res, which is on Kura, which is good. Onslaught gets +1 Mel, which is your Drogoth, your Canes, your Ashels. Ecstasy gets +1 Agi, which is nice. She's going to be really high. And Malefica gets +1 Mage, which is Abathis today. So, Ari is in there as well. I think Ari's Ecstasy as well. So she's +1 Agi as well. So it kind of builds on their existing strengths, but it gives you that boost in that EP turn. So instead of getting an ability, you get that. Still think it's super powerful. They still can use the Demonic Gateway like before. They haven't lost that. All we've replaced is the component where they pick an ability. They just get that. So that's demons. Hope you like it. Demon players out there, let us know what you think. But we're pretty happy with that. So yes. And that's there's Evolve there. So there's what the abilities that they get. All right, I'm getting there. Trust me. Right, we've got next one. Dwarfs. Okay, dwarfs. So I actually dived into the dwarfs again and went, okay, let's work out what's going on. They look so strong on paper. The first turn of the dwarfs was horrible. On some maps, it was diabolical, and it puts you in a position where it made it very difficult to come back into the game, mainly around their movement. So we've given them the Thrommel treatment. They're all getting natural sprinter. They're all getting short legs. So on turn 1 of the game, all dwarfs, their warband bonus is all dwarfs can basically have move 3, but they can't use dash. So they can now contest, do everything. They're like normal heroes for that one, which is great. The EP power, effigy power's got a bit of a boost. They're gaining +1 res as well as all the movement stopping. So naturally, no, you can't get res 3, so the res 2 models don't get any bonus, but all the other dwarfs get +1 res. So Laurie Bella gets res 2, Zaffin gets res 2, Brock gets res 1. It could be res 2 if he's got his ability up. I'm not thinking about it right. Savagery. So this is really like a strong EP where they get +1 res. You can't move them, you can't throw them, can't place them. Super happy with it. It's a good counter to some, with a Bruel on extra damage or if you've got extra damage coming in, they can nullify that by getting res. So it's a good counter to some of the big powerful ones. So, yep, we think this would put dwarfs on the map, to be quite honest. They've got one of the best, strongest hero pools. Their biggest downside is that a lot of those heroes want level 2. There are a few maps where you can get 2 heroes leveled up at the start, with 2 hero choices. So It is possible, but we feel fixing their start of the game and making their EP rock solid is pretty good. So go dwarf players. Bunch of dwarfs got boosts. The warband, the tribe got a boost. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Last one is Minotaurs. Small change. Basically, it says they gain immune all conditions. This is the same treatment that we gave Terra. It's not immune to everything in the game. It's just immune to conditions. So we just clarified that on the Minotaurs. And I believe that is the end of the patch. Setup was a big one. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think, either in the comments of this YouTube video or on Discord. We appreciate it. We've got no models in test realm now. Lyra, Zendala, and Gonsoku are in the wild. They're eligible. Obviously, definitely eligible for Adepticon. Don't forget, FHTK is now a thing. Please play it. Let us know what you think. We're very happy with that change, and it will be in play at Adepticon as well. Everything will be up on wholeofeternalchampions.com. Vassal modules available, TTS modules available, and Sunny's printed cards available as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for playing the game. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. We're super excited about next year. We've got Goblin tribes coming. We've got Chimera tribes coming. You know, we've got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out. We can't wait to bring it out. Yeah, the game's just such a good state at the moment. It's well balanced, good hero spreads, over 50 heroes in the game now. Can't wait to get stuck in for the 2026. Have an awesome Christmas if you celebrate it. Have an awesome break, awesome holiday season, and stay safe in New Year's. And we'll see you in 2026. Peace.